Hi, in this video I'm gonna show you the new update of HB Modeling Bundle version 2.3. In this first part I'm gonna show you the new and hot stuff, and in the second part I'm gonna show you the smaller changes. So there's new scripts, there's new functionality to old scripts, and there's a new color scheme, there's a lot of new stuff, also some bug fixes, and of course compatible with R20. Okay, let's get started with HB Mirror. So to use it, you select some polygons and then you go to axis mode and click on any edge. And if you click on this edge, you see this modeling axis gets aligned to this edge. Now if you hit HB Mirror, it will copy these polygons and mirror them over to this side. And this also works if you, for example, rotate the axis 45 degrees and now hit HB Mirror, it will do this. So this is really cool stuff, and let me show you what happens if you have, for example, a cube and you select all polygons, and now in axis mode you click on a polygon. Now this axis is oriented differently than if you click on an edge. You see that X and Z is mirroring the polygons. If you click on a polygon, the mirror axis should be X and Y. So for this you hold Alt and use the script, and then it gets mirrored on Y and X. So this way you can quickly do complex mirror operations. You can also just select, put the axis on a point like this, and now you can hold Alt to mirror this side, and now you can hold Control to mirror on CY. So this way you can quickly do interesting shapes, and all this without using the symmetry object. This also works for rotational objects. Let's say you have this, and let me just delete some of these and do some modeling on this. And now selecting these polygons and click on this edge, now I can mirror the complete selection like this and get a perfect radial symmetry. Alright, this is HB Mirror. Let me show you now one of my favorite scripts, which is HB Relax. HB Relax is not new, but there's a new option which is Preserve Shape. So let's say you have selected these polygons and use the Relax script. What happens is that everything gets relaxed, and this will cause the shape to shrink down. With the new version you can hold Control. Let me undo this. So you see this, and now with Control, look what happens. The shape preserves and only the topology gets relaxed without changing anything of the shape. So this even works with complex things where you have added loops and everything is ugly, but you like the shape, and with Control you can now even get this smooth without losing volume. Or let's say you have let's say you want to add some detail here. Let's inner extrude this, and you don't want to change the shape, but you want to relax this part. Oh, sorry. So let's see what happens. So you see everything gets relaxed without changing any of the shape. Let me add some loops here to demonstrate an even worse scenario. So you have a lot of loop cuts made, and now you can relax everything with preserve shape. So this is really useful. Let me show you a real life example here where I have a model that is nice already, but you want to add something here. Maybe you do let's do a path cut here and another path cut, and let's just increase the selection. And now I do HB relax, and this time I hold also shift to relax it even stronger. And here I made a mistake. Let's undo all this. So let's do this again. So I do this. I see the problem now. Okay, let's do this again maybe. And you see now you get this detail added, and you can model really nice with this. Let me just try to do it on the complete arm. So I hold Control Shift and do relax, and everything gets relaxed. Let me undo. You see the difference? It's really nice. Alright, this is HB relax. HB selection to circle has also a preserve shape option, and it also behaves differently now. So if I have these selected on a perfect sphere and control click, it will do a circle, but it will maintain the shape. The same works on a cylinder, for example. You see that the shape is preserved, but the selection is circular. Now if you have a planar selection, like a plane polygon selection, and press on this, it will do a perfect circle. But if you expand this selection and now you have a non-planar selection, the script will do a spherical shape. So it will not do a planar disk, but a sphere. And this also sometimes is useful. You can also do shift to relax the spherical version, so it produces something like this. In this case, not really useful, but sometimes also this is useful. So this is HB selection to circle. HB solid bevel is a script to help you making bevels. So you just select edges, run the script, enter a radius, and done. So this way you get a nice solid bevel with a radius of 5, for example. If you want to bevel a complete mesh like this one with a threshold angle, you hold Control, enter the radius, and run the script, and now a bevel deformer gets applied with a threshold angle of 30, and the whole mesh is beveled. Really easy. In some cases this doesn't work so well, so if I use this one, you can see the threshold angle doesn't work so well. So in this case, what you want to do is hold Shift, and that way all edges get beveled. And also this time with a bevel deformer, which you can also toggle off. So this is HB Solid Bevel. Symmetry Maker has also some new options. So now in order to use it, you can just use it with no modifier like before. So it will set up a symmetry. But now you can also, let me undo, you can also do Shift click, and this will make a symmetry on 2 axes. So now I have 2 axis symmetry. And if you want a 3 axis symmetry, you can hold Shift Control. And now you have symmetry on all 3 axes. So this is a really nice, easy way to set up symmetry quickly. Okay, now I want to talk about a completely new workflow to select objects in the viewport and to manage your modes like model mode, points mode, and so on. So this is a completely new and great workflow, and I really ask you to please try this workflow. It will really change how you work, how fast you work in the viewport. And if you get used to it and use these 4 scripts with shortcuts, you get really fast in modifying your scene. It's a little hard to explain for you because if I press on these scripts, nothing will happen. These 2 scripts, HB Selector and Selector Add, will only work if your mouse pointer is in the viewport. And toggle mode also works if I press on it, but these also should be used with shortcuts. So I have them on Alt 1, Alt 2, and these on Alt and this arrow sign. But you can change these shortcuts to your liking. I always find it really good to have Alt as a modifier for my most important shortcuts because my thumb is always on Alt for navigation in the viewport. So you can change it if you want, but yeah. So let me try to explain this workflow. If your mouse is over any object in the scene and I use the shortcut for HB Selector, the script will do some decisions. So it will see the object under your mouse pointer and check its state, its hierarchy, and its type. So if it's a polygonal type, or if it's a spline type, or if it's a generator, if it's a subdivision surface, or a symmetry object, or a subdivision under a symmetry object, and so on. It will check all these parameters and will decide how to change and select your object, select it and change the mode. So in this case, these cups here are polygonal objects. So if I hit now the shortcut for HB Selector, it will select this object and also go into points mode, because I was in model mode and the script decides to go into points mode because it's a polygonal object. If you are in model mode and you just want to select this object in model mode, you can just click on it anyway, so this is not a problem. But my script decides that I want to go to points mode because this is modeling tools. So if I select a polygonal object, I want to have it in a component mode. So I can select these, and also this is polygonal, so it will choose points mode. If I go over here and click on this, it's also points mode, but if I go on this object here, it's not a point mode, it's a cylinder object. So this time it will go to model mode, and now I can just drag and move this this object. So this way I can easily just select and modify objects without dealing with these components mode, model mode, and so on. And this is really handy. And now if I go over this object here, which is a sweep knob, and click on it, it will automatically do some things. It will select the spline and not the generator sweep object. It will also go to points mode and make the sweep object transparent so I can look through it. So it will select X-ray mode. And now I can start to move points of the spline. If I now click on this object again, I am back in Move tool and object mode. So that way you can really easily modify your scene and do whatever changes, and this is really cool. So let me show you another example. So I select this, I hide this and go into these inner areas here, and now I want to edit some of these, so I just click on this. Everything is in point mode. I can select these. By the way, I'm using Solo here, HP Solo, to focus on just one object. I just modify this. Now I want to select this. I click on it and can make my modeling functions here. So really easy to quickly modify any object easily. And if I, for example, want to select this, but now I also want to select this, I choose Selector Add. So if I choose the shortcut for Selector Add, I will select also this object, but this will keep selected. And this is really cool because, as you see now, I'm in loop cut mode in the loop cut tool. I also have here my settings for the loop cut tool, and I can do cuts on this object but also on this object because both are selected. And without changing tool, I'm still in the loop cut tool. I can now click on this and do my loop cuts here without even changing the tool. I can select and change everything just with one click, and that's really powerful. It's a little hard to explain, but it's really, if you get used to this, you don't want to work differently. It's really awesome. Let me show you another example. So here I have some glasses. Let me just add a no. So this object, if you look in the hierarchy here, is made of subdivision surface and also symmetry objects and also some nulls, and here right on the bottom is the polygonal object. So in order to edit this mesh here, you would select this, and this only selects the SDS object. Now you would need to go deeply into this hierarchy to find the polygonal object. So my script HP Selector will take care of this. So if I'm hovering over this this part here and click on HP Selector, it will automatically select this object and go to point mode, and I don't have to worry about anything. And this even works, as you know, the symmetry object is only one directional. So, but now if I go to the other side of the object and now I click on this arm, you see I can edit this as well, even if the symmetry object used to be on the other direction. So no matter where I click, I can always select the right mesh in the right mode. If you choose to be in polygons mode, it will, for example, it will keep in polygons mode, so it will not always jump into points mode. It will only jump into points mode if you are in model mode, so don't worry about this too. So you can stay in polygon mode too. The HB toggle mode also plays well with these scripts, because normally you would need to select an object and use toggle mode to toggle the mode and have the object selected. Now with the new version you don't need that, because this toggle mode has also the HB selector built in. So if I just have nothing selected and hover over any object and toggle mode, it will automatically select the object and toggle to points mode. So this works also with any object. So if I have nothing selected, I hover here over and toggle mode, it will select this object. So toggle mode has built-in selector. Be aware of this. I hope I was able to explain this, but I know this is hard to explain. It's just more about working and feeling how different this workflow is. Using shortcuts, I can only tell you, try it out, and if it's not for you, then no. But for me it was a really big change in my workflow. Okay, I hope you have enjoyed this. In part 2 of this video you will get some more informations about little changes I made to some of the old scripts. Goodbye!